Howdy. It's Howdy, welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't checked out my past videos, make sure you're checking out my past videos. You know what I'm saying? And like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy your stay in Cloudyville. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Today, we got a video from Emergency Awesome. Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, Brainiac, first look. Y'all don't know, I'm always going to be excited to hear some DC Universe stuff coming out. What I'm really excited for is to see who they going to make the new Aquaman, you know what I'm saying? Because Aquaman is one of my favorite heroes due to the fact that water powers are some of my favorite you know what I'm saying? And he got water powers, you feel me? And you know, I like people like Poseidon and he's a part of that. So I'm actually excited to see what they do with DC and everything, and if they are bringing Snyder or if they not, or if they keeping it, you know. I really want to know what their plans are moving forward, bro, especially with this new deal with Netflix, bro. It might change some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But
Charlie,
knows,
James Gunn just announced he's cast his new Brainiac of the DCU.
Hey, real talk, bro. I've been reacting to some of the videos I've been reacting to, bro. I get copyrights from, bro. So like the video, you know what I'm saying? They ain't like strikes, but you know, like the video, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For Superman 2, the Man of Tomorrow movie, it's Lars Eidinger, who New York Times described as the best
crazy
German actor you have never heard of. Unless you live in Germany, then you probably know all about him. Because he used the Gary Frank version of Brainiac to make the announcement, he also might use that as visual inspiration for what live-action DCU Brainiac looks like. There have been a number of live-action versions of Brainiac on the DC TV shows in the past, animated movies as well, but this will be the first time we've seen him in a live-action movie. There have been several times in the last 20 years.
For all y'all who don't really know who Brainiac is, from my understanding, because I did my research this week, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, though, not a lot, because, you know, I like to learn as I react. I mean, but from what I know, from what I've read, Brainiac is Kryptonian. You know what I'm saying? Technically, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much, he was built as a supercomputer for Krypton, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he knows everything about them and about a lot of other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's like one of the most formidable opponents against Superman's, because nigga, they built him to be the best when it comes to knowledge and everything like that. And with a name like Brainiac, you know that's gonna be his main power. Knowing everything, knowing how to do stuff, knowing what's like, he's just hella smart, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be his main power. But the fact that he's also from the planet Krypton, I also wonder, will he be able to fly and all that stuff just like the others? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wonder, because if he was a supercomputer and he's a human, and he not a human, but you know, he looks like one, you know, I'm thinking he was moving around on Krypton, like walking around everywhere, probably helping people out, telling them shit like, hey, they was probably walking like, hey, how you make meatloaf? And he's like, well, according to Google, you gotta put two tablespoons of salt in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he was just walking around helping people out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to know a little bit more about Brainiac, bro. They say he was in the TV shows, DC. If y'all can, let me know what TV shows, bro, and let me know, should I watch him? Would they kind of give me insight on who he is?
That the live-action movies have
tried
to do versions of Brainiac. Even Zack Snyder was about to do his own version of Brainiac during the DCEU Brainiac. Even Zack Snyder was about to do his own version of Brainiac during the DCEU in a Man of Steel 2 movie with Henry Cavill, had he gotten to have made that. James Gunn will be the first director to be making a live-action DC movie with Brainiac that isn't going to be canceled in the middle of production. Even though there's all this talk about the Netflix Warner Brothers buyout, what's happening with Paramount, I will address that at the end of the video, because it does seem like we've finally gotten an answer to how that's all going to end. End of the video.
What is this,
because
bro?
It does seem like we finally...
Bro, what is this? And is that Krypton right there? Like the city that's at the bottom? I'm pretty sure I'm not blocking. But what is this monster, bro?
Brothers buyout, what's happening with Paramount. I will address that at the end of the video, because it does seem like we've finally gotten an answer to how that's all going to end. James Gunn also said that at one point when he was developing the first Superman movie, he thought about using Brainiac for the main villain, not Lex Luthor, but then just decided to wait, I assume now, for the second movie. Like, oh, that's too much, we'll just save him for the next Superman movie, and now we're here.
I'm not gonna lie, I like
a couple years later, boom.
You know what I'm saying? I like Lex Luthor from the I was gonna call him Henry Cavill, but damn, what's his name, bro? He played Derek in Teen Wolf, you know what I'm saying? That was my show. But I like the Lex Luthor in his Superman show, and I also like him playing Superman. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder, James Gunn, bro, let us know if you see this video, bro. Are you gonna get to a point in Superman's story where you end up having kids too, and he end up having his 2 sons, and they end up learning how to use their powers, etc. You know, is that gonna come to, bro, with this with David Corsett's Superman? I really hope so, because I honestly liked his kids, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like Jordan because he was just, I mean, Jordan was cool, but at the same time, he was a younger brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just put it out. I'm a younger brother too. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I kind of feel him, but he was just retarded.
You probably remember there were Easter eggs for Brainiac during the first David Cornswood Superman movie a little while ago, and we just saw some more in the Supergirl trailer that just released. So I'll explain what James Gunn is doing with the character in Man of Tomorrow movie and what it means for the future of the DCU movies and TV shows just in general. We will see more Easter eggs for Brainiac during the Supergirl movie, but James Gunn literally just cast the actor, so obviously he's not starring in the Supergirl movie like Brainiac is
Lobo
a
gonna
big
be fired
character in that.
movie, right?
We will see him for the first time in Man of Tomorrow. They'll just be Easter eggs for him in the Supergirl movie. I was not familiar with the actor before James Gunn named him. He's mostly known as a theater actor, but he's appeared as minor characters in a number of larger Hollywood movies recently and many more independent European films. He was just in George Clooney's...
Hey, shout out to the theater actors, man, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think the theater actors might be some of the best actors, because, like, Andrew Garfield, bro, I don't think he was a theater kid, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's a few of them, like Timothy, I don't know his last name, bro, so I'm not even gonna say it. But Timothy, I believe he was a theater kid. You know what I'm saying? I believe some of the kids from Stranger Things, I believe they were theater kids as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something about theater, bro. It helps them bring out more of their emotion. Maybe because they're on stage and they gotta act it out. You know what I'm saying? Like right then and there, so they put on a little bit extra to it. You know what I'm saying? Because people are sitting right in front of them looking at them, so it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no TV, ain't no edits and nothing like that they could do right then and there that'll help them out for real. You know what I'm saying? So they got to be real good with their acting. That's what I like about theater. I had theater class too, you know what I'm saying, when I was in high school. And that's one thing I can say, bro. Theater class, bro, it really focuses on acting, bro. Because you don't have like the CGI and all that stuff to help you out. You really got to be a good actor, or people gonna notice you suck.
Just finished filming a new horror series for Disney Plus. It's not Marvel, but it is based on a graphic novel.
Dann muss man das Visier
theater
öffnen.
kids, bro, most theater kids that I've seen are very passionate actors.
When you watch his performances, you kind of get a vibe of what James Gunn wants in his DCU Brainiac, what he wants him to feel like. He needs to feel terrifying and overwhelming enough that he's too powerful for Superman and the Justice Gang to handle on their own. That requires Superman to get Lex Luthor's help, which is also how Lex Luthor gets the government to finish pardoning him completely for his crimes in the last Superman movie. And
okay, so now we know the way Lex Luthor gonna get out of jail is because they're gonna be like, bro, we need him to help Superman fight Brainiac. You know what I'm saying? But how would Brainiac get to Earth? That's what I want to know. How would he get to Earth? And how did he survive? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they might show that in the Supergirl movie. You know what I'm saying?
Deems him in the eyes of the regular people around the world who absolutely hated him by the end of the last movie. Brainiac rolls into the movie making all these long-term plans Lex Luthor had seem like child's play in comparison. During my talk with James Gunn a little while ago after the Peacemaker finale, he actually said specifically the Salvation Run planet.
This is why I'm getting covered, bro. It's because bro got real ties with, bro. I didn't even realize the entire time whenever we see these little, I didn't even realize this was you the entire time, bro. I'm sorry. I think it's the glasses, bro. Now we know why Clark be getting away with it, bro. It's the glasses, bro. I didn't even realize bro really got the link up, you know what I'm saying? This is him, you know what I'm saying? The entire time I'm thinking this is just somebody else. I didn't even realize this is him, bro. That's crazy.
So
glasses
important
really do make
for Man of Tomorrow. Now we know it probably has something to do with Brainiac. He might just wind up making that Brainiac's zoo planet where he keeps a bunch of alien creatures and gets more interested in it because Superman then suddenly shows up on the planet. It also seems like Brainiac is going to pay off a lot of the plot holes and questions raised in the first Superman movie too, as well as some of the things that they raised during the Supergirl trailer, some things that are referenced, especially with Jor-El's message during Superman's transport in his pod from Krypton, and the original destruction of the Krypton planet that we see in the Supergirl movie trailer.
How did Brainiac
One of the cool things about the comic book that they're adapting for the Supergirl movie, Woman of Tomorrow, is that she specifically flashes back remembering Krypton's destruction because she was alive and watched that all go down. She was about 14 years old when Krypton was destroyed.
Damn.
Brainiac has a number of different backstories across the comics. There have been a couple retcons, but in a lot of them, he was either directly responsible or in other cases complicit with the destruction of Krypton itself.
That is crazy. I'm thinking Krypton got destroyed just like Planet Vegeta got destroyed by Frieza. You know what I'm saying? Well, technically, that's kind of how. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking like it really went like that. Like somebody came to the planet and blew it up from outside. You know what I'm saying? Like Frieza did to Planet Vegeta. I'm telling you, bro. That's what I'm thinking the story was the entire time, bro. But now it makes sense. He is the supercomputer, bro. This is why we need to get rid of AI, bro. AI is pretty much planet Earth's supercomputer, bro. This is why we gotta get rid of AI, bro. We can't give it no body, bro. Once AI got a body, bro, it'll come, bro. It's Age of Ultron, bro. It's Age of Ultron, or it's Krypton destruction, but instead it's planet Earth. You know what I'm saying, bro? This AI needs to, bro. This movie right here, bro, is going. This is the movie that's going to delete AI. Yep. This is the movie where it's going to be like the government going to be like, yeah, let's get rid of AI, bro. We not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk to Elon.
Feeling of Kandor, the bottle city of Kandor. Most of the live-action versions of Brainiac you've seen on all the different TV shows over the years, like the Smallville version of Brainiac, the new Krypton version of Brainiac on that TV series on the Sci-Fi Channel. Those are all the first evil version of Brainiac. By the time we get to the Arrowverse version of Brainiac, it's Brainiac 5.0 on the Supergirl TV show, and it's a future version of the character who's turned good and works with the Legion of Superheroes and is in a relationship with Supergirl in the comics a lot too, and the anime.
Man, that's cheesy as hell, bro. I'm thinking they picking up Green Lantern rings or like just one of the Lantern rings. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they all different colors or something. Like, that's fire. They picked up some rings that just say Legion. Does it have like a suit in it or something like that? You know how like the Flash had a suit in his ring? Is this something like that, bro? Or are these just rings, bro? Just to let it be known y'all part of the family, like one of them emblem rings, which I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? But they could have did better. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case. If there ain't no suit in there, bro, and it's just a regular ring, bro, they could have made it better.
Did movies and the TV shows. This version that James Gunn is doing is just going to be the Brainiac 1.0, the original evil version of the character, just because this is the first time we'll see him in the DCU. So it's really too soon for James Gunn to show like 10 different future versions of Brainiac. Like, we don't need to see Brainiac 13 yet. Probably the biggest reason why Brainiac as a character is more relevant, just in terms of why you would use him in a movie now, is because we are in real life in the age of AI. Like, it's such a huge AI boom around the world.
What I just say? This right here is foreshadowing with AI, bro. James Gunn know what he doing, bro. He know what he doing, bro.
People are worried about it. People are excited about it at the same time. It is crazy. In the comics, Brainiac was originally a Kluan artificial intelligence created by a scientist for the purposes of just acquiring more scientific knowledge. He traveled through space, learning things about species all over the universe, studying them, using robotic drones to capture living organisms, pieces of different cultures to learn about them, adding them to his collection, eventually doing that with the bottle city of Kandor on Krypton.
Did I get false info, y'all? Did I get false info, y'all?
Christmas was coming, and
one of the more famous recent Brainiac stories is the Jeff Johns Brainiac story, where he basically comes to Earth and wants to dissect Superman and learn from his brain, basically just learning everything he can about.
This is an alien dissecting the alien, bro. They doing it to their own people. You can't make this shit up, bro. They do it to their own people, bro. So when we hear they do it to human beings, just know they do it to their own too, bro. Just what they do.
Kryptonians from Superman. James Gunn's Brainiac story won't be a direct adaptation of any particular Brainiac run in the comics, but like his first Superman movie and the Man of Tomorrow movie, it will borrow heavily from many different comics inspired by several different things over the past. Just because each new Superman or Supergirl super family-based movie pushes more into their lore, their history, what really happened to Krypton, they can use Brainiac to answer some of those big questions in Man of Tomorrow. They're going to answer some more during the Supergirl movie, but they can still leave some bits to answer in Man of Tomorrow when Brainiac actually shows up. He can also just say that Brainiac was the real reason for Krypton's destruction, because what makes more sense, an ancient, hyper-advanced scientific race taken down by climate change deniers, or Brainiac was responsible for everything. Jor-El, realizing almost too late, but was able to save Superman in his pod, and in the Supergirl trailer, what we're seeing is her father, Zor-El, Jor-El's brother, saving Argo City, their city, by placing it under a dome, so that when Krypton breaks apart, the planet breaks apart, the chunk that is Argo City is just preserved under the dome, and just floats through space like a raft. But in the...
So that's how she survived. Damn, y'all wasn't living. They probably was like, bro, we family, but I ain't trying to live close to your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking, like, bro, if he saved, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he saved them too, but they didn't live close enough, you know, to be in that dome. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, nah, yeah, they didn't live close enough, bro. Because maybe Clark would have. So if Clark was under that dome, he would have never went to Earth. He would have never went to, I believe, where he was born, Kentucky or something like that, Kansas. You know. Bro, that's kind of crazy, bro, when you think about it, because this means Supergirl really watched her entire planet die, and she floated in space with half of the planet, like, not even half, like, a dime left for her own planet, and she's just sitting there like, damn. Like, imagine how, bro, imagine the trauma, bro, of you floating in space with just a piece of your planet left. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Earth, bro. Imagine you on the right side of Earth, bro. And majority of it, you know, kabooms, you know what I'm saying? And your little piece just floats off, bro. And now you can see space and all types of, because of the, you know, just the way how things are and stuff now. You gonna be scared because it's gonna be your first time seeing space. You gonna realize you floating because I'm pretty sure gravity gonna be a little awkward at that point. You know what I'm saying? You might get pulled in by the sun, so it might start getting hot. Bro, she went through it, bro. So after they closed the dome, bro, they just decided to send her with Clark. Did they know Clark made it out and they was like, okay, we gonna send you with Clark? Or was it like they protected they part of the planet and then they stayed for a little longer? She got a little older, you know what I'm saying? They did funerals, all that stuff, and then she ended up, like, how did that go, bro? Because it seemed like when she was older, she was still on the planet, but from the stories I've been hearing, she got sent to planet Earth at a young age to find Clark. You know what I'm saying? But she was at an age where she kind of knew what was going on and all that. That's kind of confusing,
Supergirl
bro.
trailer. This is a good visual example of what it would look like when Brainiac steals.
Is there just different versions of the story?
Shrinks it too and puts it on his ship. Or it can just use the Pocket Universe technology, the same type of but more advanced version of technology that Lex Luthor and Peacemaker are using. They could also say that Brainiac.
Bro, that's crazy. So are they saying Peacemaker and Lex Luthor are pretty much using the same technology? Or got the technology from the same place? Because I ain't gonna lie, this little closet and Peacemaker show was confusing me, bro. I was like, bro, where did this come from? Like, it's just a random alien popped up and then they took the, you know. Now it got me thinking, like, are those aliens connected to the tech that Lex Luthor had too?
Created the alternate dimension device the Peacemaker stole from the alien during the Peacemaker backstory. There were a lot of people that were wondering if Peacemaker's multiverse key was actually just a mother box and they were going to connect it to Darkseid. Then James Gunn said that he wasn't doing the Darkseid part of the Salvation Run backstory in the comics because Darkseid uses it as a training planet for Apocalypse. When I talked to him, though, he said that Salvation used Darkseid part of the Salvation Run backstory in the comics because Darkseid uses it as a training planet for Apocalypse. When I talked...
He took an entire planet just to train somebody? That nigga's strong, bro.
To him, though, he said that the Salvation Planet was critical to the plot of Man of Tomorrow, and if Brainiac is the main villain, he can just say that Brainiac is behind the Salvation Planet and behind the multiverse key, the multiverse technology that Peacemaker and now Lex Luthor and the government control, like Rick Flag and Argus. This can also be how Brainiac learns about Superman's existence because Lex Luthor winds up being able to actually get him to the Salvation Planet either to try and save people or he winds up on the planet somehow and then Brainiac picks up on that. Like, oh, Bing, Kryptonian.
So, I was gonna say, how does Peacemaker make it out? But the way bro's saying it, maybe Superman goes there and he finds Peacemaker. I think they should have made another season of Peacemaker, bro. Of him being on that in that area where he was at, just like surviving and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then having the rest of his squad, Vigilante and all them, you know, during the whole season trying to find him. And like the last like 3 episodes, you know what I'm saying, they already got him back and they're fighting against the people that put him in there or whatever the case is. And then they run into Superman and stuff. Because, you know, at the end of one of the Suicide Squad movies, or I think it was at the end of Peacemaker, actually, the first season, where he saw the Justice League, Superman and all them. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a lot of stories now. It's kind of confusing me because I'm like, it seems like they're doing another story now. Like they're taking a different storyline and going with that. Y'all gotta let me know, bro. What storyline they going with, bro? It's
Brainiac can also be the reason why Jor-El's message to Superman was damaged in the first place. A piece of Brainiac's programming could have just embedded itself in Superman's pod and his Kryptonian supercomputer when the Kryptonian robots built it. James Gunn made a real big deal about that Kryptonian supercomputer. It just feels like a really easy in for Brainiac, who is alien artificial intelligence.
Superman method.
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
James Gunn has not said whether or not Millie Alcock's Supergirl is going to be in the Man of Tomorrow movie, but Millie Alcock said that she filmed a scene with David Cornswith's Superman. He was in a Superman suit, but she was not in her Supergirl suit for the Supergirl movie, entirely in Kryptonian. Like they have a conversation with each other just in Kryptonian, and it sounds like it might wind up at the end of the movie when she returns to Earth after she helps Ruthie. Also, because she was alive for Krypton's destruction, watch that go down, she can actually tell Superman about Brainiac. She can know about him. DC also filed a trademark for the Salvation Run name so they can use it in a movie, so my theory is that James Gunn also might want to develop a Suicide Squad type of movie with the villains on the Salvation Planet being stuck there. So we'll see what they wind up doing with that in the future, but James Gunn can also adapt a version of this new Krypton storyline in the future where Superman is able to save the bottle city of Kandor, bring it back so that he and Supergirl are no longer the last Kryptonians living in the universe. And she actually talks about that during the Supergirl movie. There's only 2 of us left. Technically, that's not true because Brainiac has a whole city of you just shrunk down. They can just use that, the new Krypton stuff, for more future super family movie plot. James Gunn said that he had a 4-movie arc for Superman planned, David Cornswith's version. They can just use new Krypton stuff for a 3rd movie. And my early assumption is that 4th last movie would probably be a Justice League team-up cross.
Shit turned into Invincibles. You know what I'm saying? Now we finna find out it's a whole classroom full of Kryptonians left, nigga. That's gonna be hard, bro. Bro, they gotta make a storyline with all these Kryptonians popping up on Earth or something like that. Just fighting in general, bro. I want to see some other Kryptonians throw it down, bro. Because, you know, Superman can't fight. He can fight, but he can't fight. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no technique or nothing like that, bro. He can throwing punches and fighting and shit with his fist out. So I want to see some Kryptonians that can really, like, kick and all that, you know? I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Of some kind down the road. Everyone post all your reactions in the comments below and let me...
But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel, bro. I'm excited to see Brainiac because he's pretty much like the Ultron of DC. You know what I'm saying? For, you know, he's like the Ultron of DC, bro. He's a damn computer, and now he got a body. You know what I'm saying? Now he's causing havoc, just like Ultron did, bro. This is Age of Ultron, bro, in DC universe, and they could be doing it better. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. I feel like DC somewhat has better characters, bro. Maybe because their storyline is a little bit more grimier, you know what I'm saying, than Marvel. You know, Marvel, they a little bit more censored because they stuck with Disney. You know what I'm saying? In DC, they were Warner Bros. So they could do a little bit more. They cuss a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? They could show a little bit more gore and all that, you know? Y'all let me know in the comments, but y'all think DC might be better than Marvel due to the fact that they got more wiggle room to do stuff? Y'all let me know in the comments, man.